Hello everyone, this is Matthew Martin. I've been having the word of the Lord come to me, and it is this, is that anything is possible. And I want to show you what is actually possible, and it's going to super encourage you. And, I was listening to this message by Kenneth Hagin, and he was talking about how when he was younger, he would go to school, and he read in the Bible where Daniel says that, God gave Daniel and his friends supernatural learning. And so on his way to school, Kenneth Hagin would pray to the Lord and say, Lord, you taught them, you can teach me. And Kenneth Hagin finished the best in his class. And he got so great that he could open a book that he's never read before, and he would read a whole chapter for the first time, put the book down, and be able to recite it from memory, word for word. And so, guys, anything is possible. There's a prophet that I know that I used to sit under his ministry, and they would do crazy stuff, man. Like one time he was driving and he ran out of gas and he peed in his gas tank, and then he prayed over it and it turned to gas and the car ran. Now, as a disclaimer here, I'm not telling you to pee in your gas tank because it might wreck it unless you're a super prophet. But, it's possible, but, as a legal disclaimer. But there's also other stuff. Like one time he was in a forest and the Lord spoke to him, and then they were up on like a mountain with a bunch of people, and he told them, he said, the Lord just spoke to me. And then he told them what the Lord said to him. And he says, as a sign that the Lord just spoke to me, I'm going to put out my hand and a dove is going to land on it. And he put out his hand and a dove landed on his hand. A dove came out of nowhere and landed on his hand. Another time, he was someone had a dead body that somehow ended up at his house, and he stretched over it like Elijah, and he started praying. The body got warmer and warmer and warmer, and then they came back to life. Another time, someone was borrowing his car, and he told the guy, listen, you can borrow my car, but don't go out of this certain area. And then, so he let the guy borrow his car, and then in the spirit, he saw that the guy was out of the boundaries, and so he called him up and he said, where are you? And the guy lied and said he was inside the boundaries, but he wasn't. And the prophet, he said, you're outside the boundaries, and right now the car will not work for you anymore, in Jesus' name. And the car shut down, and the guy was trying to start it and couldn't start it, and the car wouldn't work. So the prophet, he came over and he went to where the guy was and picked up his car, and he took the keys from him, and then he went in his car and started it, and it ran. And so anything is possible. There's another story, Kevin Zadai, he told a story that one day, like the Lord was just saying how, or that someone was telling him that there's businessmen that just fund the kingdom, and all they do is like support ministries, and they make lots of money and they give lots of money away. So one time, this businessman gave Kevin Zadai $1 million check to give to someone in the audience, and the businessman had Kevin give the check to him because the Lord wanted Kevin to see how readily available money was. So there was $1 million check that was given to the guy, and the guy that received the check, he almost died in a car accident on the way to the meeting, and then he got $1 million. And I was telling this story at a men's breakfast that I was just at the other day, and I was telling this how anything is possible, and someone paid for the whole men's ministry's breakfast. I guess they heard me talking or something, but somehow someone paid the whole bill of the whole men's ministry. And it's like, what is possible, So I just want to encourage you guys. There's like the limits, like Kevin's and I, when he was in heaven, Jesus spoke to him and said, the limitations have been taken off. And he's like, I am not limiting you. No one in heaven is limiting you. The limitations come from this, from Satan and from the fallen world. Because of the fall, there was limitations put on us. And, Satan also tries to limit us. But the thing is that Jesus has not limited us. We can go as high, as far as we want. We can be like, we can believe for finances supernaturally. We can believe for supernatural memories, like Kenneth Hagin, where you just be able to recite a whole chapter of a book off by heart. Anything is possible. I know a guy who was at his house, and he looked, and he turned his attention. He looked over in the other part of the house, and all of a sudden he had like X-ray vision, like Superman. He saw right through a few walls and saw his wife in the living room, and she was crying and she was worried about something. The Lord spoke to him. He said, she's worried about something at her work. Go in there and comfort her and tell her that such and such will not happen and everything will work out. So he went into the living room, saw her right where he saw her through the wall, and then he gave the word of the Lord to her, and everything worked out in her life. And there's other times where he has lost things, keys and other things, and he's just said, Lord, I lost this wherever I lost it. I pray now it would come back to me. And it either appeared in his pocket or somewhere else supernaturally when it was somewhere else. So I want to tell you, anything is possible, guys. Anything is possible. And the limitations are taken off. And I want you to believe God for the miraculous, for the impossible. You can do anything. You can go as high or as far as you want. So the limitations are taken off. God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.